Hey everyone, it's Damon with Living in the OC here with Mom. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, everybody.
And today we have a very, very special episode coming to you. You know, we try to bring you new content every week, and we have a very special guest with us today. This is our cousin Mark Miller from Iowa. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So we have a great story about cousin Mark that we're going to get into, and then we're also going to show you some of the progress.
Well, we've had, again, changes here. We're down at Laguna Woods. This is which video? Number 6?
This is number 6 now
Wow.
in our updates, yeah.
And we're now had to bring some different people in. We've had a little thing to figure out the leak in the new refrigerator. I mean, it's always something every day.
Yeah, we get
So
here, and that
we're
was the curveball when we first walked
Right,
in, and cousin Mark was helping us figure that out too.
He got that all fixed for us already, which is very cool. But anyway, so now we have some different painters, and we've built in the closet doors are in the guest bedroom. We've removed the vanity that was the wrong height, and we have to put the feet on that, and so different things that we'll show you. But anyway, we've done 2 other videos
on hope.
on being hopeful, because one of the things in talking to people we find is that everybody gets discouraged. The world has gone crazy, and it's a difficult time to know what the right decisions to make are. And so this is our own
It's actually pretty depressing when you turn the news on. You see everything that's going on in the Middle East right now. You're seeing, women and children. Like the news clip we saw last night, this baby had blood all over its head. I mean, it's just like, it's devastating footage that we're seeing.
So we want to give you we have several, but one of our most special stories that is, to me, a miracle in my life especially. I have an older sister who died in 2007 from breast cancer. And when she was a teenager, she was 19 years old. She had gone off to
this
college.
happens to be Breast Cancer Awareness Month too.
Yes.
Wow.
So I do wear a lot of pink in October. I don't have it on today because we were doing our hope. We're doing a hybrid. We're doing a hope / update today, which is kind of fun. So we're mixing it up. But anyway.
Right. So anyway, she was 19 years old, off to her freshman year in college, and she got pregnant. And so, long story short, that child was placed for adoption. The daddy did not want to marry her, and so in Iowa, that baby was placed for adoption. And she never ever found out about that child. She would call me on his birthday. I was one of the few people who knew that she had a child. December the 30th was the birthday, and she would call me and she would cry and say, "Oh, I wonder whatever happened to my little boy, and if he's okay, and wonder who adopted him." And so about how many years ago, Mark is that baby. He found me through 23andMe, and I had to tell him that his mommy had already passed away. I actually went with him yesterday to her graveside, and we took some flowers. It was a very difficult but wonderful moment for him to be able to set some flowers on her grave. He was always sorry that he was never able to hug her and tell her how much he loved her and wished he had met her. But the good news for me is that I get all those hugs now. And he comes and visits us and stays with us. I've actually taken Mark with me on a missionary trip to Africa. He had never been out of the United States, and we had him working on building schoolrooms.
That's a heck of a first trip to get out of the U.S.
Seeing lions and tigers and bears, So we've had this wonderful, miraculous, the steps that it took for him to have actually been able to he worked for 35 years trying to find his biological mother and her family. And so it is the hand of God.
No question about it. I think back, it was 2018. I want to say it was February. of that year. And the
Yes.
funny version, we try to give you a little bit of our personal lives as well, not just talking about business stuff all the time. I was recovering from surgery up in our cabin up by Yosemite when you got the email.
I got
that
an
came
email
through
from a cousin whose nephew did 23andMe,
Mhm.
and Mark was the person who contacted that nephew and said, gee, I think, there's a biological relationship here. Well, nobody in the family except for me, who's alive today, knew that Peggy, my sister, had this child. And so I was sitting there and I looked at this email and she said, I've been contacted by my nephew, somebody from 23andMe, what should we do? And so I asked my sons, what I wonder if this
Said you respond to him right away, yeah.
Yes, so I emailed him back and I said, I'll call you, but when's a good time? I know it's probably midnight back there. And he said, no, call me right now.
Right.
And
Right
so,
now.
Yeah.
so we had this wonderful, wonderful conversation. And this person is back in our family. It's just a miracle. We love
Well,
him
he's,
so much.
I was just telling him in the car, I've only known this guy for 5 years, and he's literally become my closest relative. So
Yes.
it's an absolutely incredible story,
Blessing.
and what a blessing for all of us.
Yes.
He's like a brother to me, honestly. We say that all the
Yeah.
time. But certain
We
people,
mean it.
yeah, we do mean it.
mean
Yeah, we're not going to cry on video, but we have no problem hugging each other. Yeah, like when I picked him up the first day at the airport, I always give him a big bear hug. So yeah, he's become, as I said, a brother, and just the biggest blessing in our lives. And I can talk to him about whatever. We talk about Hawks football. We talk about how crappy the Trojans are this year. It doesn't matter. We talk about everything. But it's been great. This is the second time this year that Mark's been able to come out, and we love having him. And we're just going through our daily routine.
Dragging
just
him along through our daily
Yeah,
crisis.
so I told him, I was like, we're always trying to think of concepts for the next week. And I said, let's get Mark on film. Let's document this, and we'll just do our thing and roll with it. And so here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. So now we have one more member of our family that you know. And so that's really
But he's also one of our closest, as I said. I love this guy to death, and I'm glad that
I love you all.
I know
love
he
you all.
does. Yeah.
We
And
were
he's-
at his mom's grave yesterday, and I said to her, Peggy, here he is. We
Right.
finally have him back in our family. We're gonna love him. We'll take care of him for you and include him, and it's been just a blessing and so fun. Damon has on one of his favorite hats, and that is because we have experienced these amazing miracles. And he says we are all born,
Yeah, I mean,
born
this
to
is
be
right.
naughty.
It's a fine line. I don't want to be overly preachy on the videos, but yeah, this is the gospel in a nutshell. This is who I am, and this is who I need. So there it is.
There it is.
In one sentence. So anyway, we're going to roll some footage with the rest of our update. But just like last week, I had the kiddos here, and you got to see my two kids. My son had his mask on, and
Yes, it was
Yeah.
called Scream. Yes, get it right,
ghost
Daddy.
face. Yeah, I was. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Had to get the movie right. But anyway, so now you get to meet another really close member of our family, and we're just trying to personalize things a little bit. So let's go ahead. We will finish up with the rest of our tour. I didn't know this guy is as handy as he is. He already diagnosed our water problem. So,
Got that fixed. We got to keep
yeah.
him around.
So we gotta get him on the payroll or something.
Well, I wouldn't push your
Schedule some
luck.
trips.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we're just gonna start doing the rest of our tour and give you guys the rest of the update. So stay tuned. All right. So the first thing that I want to point out is how unbelievably cool Mom's new birthday shoes are.
Oh yes,
And
everybody look at these.
I'm gonna zoom in on these things.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
look at that. I'm not gonna say her age, but what a birthday present. I mean, I don't
Right.
know how many senior citizens wear leopard print Vans.
That's right.
I mean, how cool is that? And then we got
And then we just had to get a
we
blouse
had to get
match.
the blouse to
Sure.
go with it. So
Absolutely.
Mom, big time thumbs up on the outfit today. I highly approve.
Good. Good.
All right.
Keep buying them.
Yeah.
I'm
Keep
fine
buying
with
new
that.
vans. I have no problem buying vans, so that's
Right.
fine with me.
Well, we want to just do a little bit of an update because we have finally finished all of this. It goes the whole length of the patio, which is this slate. I think it turned out to be just beautiful.
Let me come in on the floor a little bit.
And
I mean,
get the shoes again.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at the shoes on the tile. What
There
a,
you
what a
go.
perfect pair, right? Look at that. But no, they finally got all the
Right.
flooring put down out on the patio.
And now, because that's new, we're having to cover everything.
Cover it, yeah.
And here we are. This was a story with our cabinets in the kitchen. There was a veneer on the top of these cabinets, and the original painter said, I can't do anything with them. So my painters that I've worked with for years, they were able to peel off the entire veneer.
Wow.
They've now sanded them. They were a little bit sticky, so they sanded them. They actually put little nails in this while they're painting them so that they can lean them against the floor and not have it stick to the floor with wet paint.
Okay.
So all they've done now is put primer on them, and they look 1,000% better
Yeah, they do.
already. So I'm thrilled about that. That's good.
Mhm.
And then here's another thing that's
So we're gonna
happening.
make our way inside.
Yes.
Lots of progress going on inside too.
Well,
I think we showed you guys the fireplace last week.
Yes, I'm thrilled with that. It turned out
And
to be
then,
beautiful.
just like you said, Mom, they've covered the floor in here to be able to finish the painting up,
Well,
right?
here's a procedural thing, and we weren't able to do it. When you're coordinating subcontractors,
Yep.
you've got somebody with a tile and somebody who's doing plumbing and electrical and painting and ceilings and hazmat teams. You've got all those to coordinate, and we were not able to do it in the order that ideally you should do it. You want to have the walls painted before your floors go in.
Uh-huh.
So if somebody sprays or splatters, it doesn't make any difference because then you cover that with your floors. Because we had to put in the appliances, we had a scheduled date that would not be able to change. We had to go ahead and get the flooring
Oh, and
in.
how many times did we have to push Home Depot off on that delivery too? That was crazy, right? With our
I know, and they weren't
appliances.
gonna move it again. So now that the floor is down before the paint is up on the walls, the painters have had to come in and completely cover all the new flooring so that it doesn't get damaged.
Right.
All of which is okay, that's all fine.
Mhm.
So the other thing we're gonna work on now is our wall here. I think we had a week where we showed you actually us struggling to get this measured and
Yeah.
and up. I don't know if these.
And make
No,
sure
we
I'm
don't have any
still,
light-
I'm
we
still
don't have
on
any light
wide angle.
bulbs in.
That's so.
Okay.
So the process now, you're going to put stain on this.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. You kind of put a clear coat, which is a special coat which opens the pores up a little bit
Uh-huh.
so that it'll absorb the stain. The guys, because we have a seam that shows here, it's an open, you have to put in a special wood putty here and here. We have some manufacturing names stamped on here, so the guys will sand that
Right.
off.
Right.
And where we have the little tiny nail holes where they've nailed these pieces, they'll touch that up with the same wood putty. Put the special sealer that opens the pores. That takes 3 hours to dry. Then we're going to put on the first coat, and I've decided to do sort of an antique white because I want it to look textured. Originally, I was just going to paint it, but now I love the fact that we have real wood here.
Yeah.
And the grain
Zoom in
and
on that for
the
a minute.
knots and what have you, we want that to show.
Uh-huh.
So we will go ahead and use a stain instead. But in order to tie into the rest of the coloring here, we're going to take 3 drops. Well, I'm always telling you 3 drops, so many drops of something. 10 drops, 10% to go into your ceiling color. We're going to just into the white put with the gray color. It has to be a stain to put into the stain. We're going to put 3 drops of that just to enrich that color a little bit. I don't want it to be a deep gray color. I want the grain to show through on the wood. So we're going to try that today. We're going to put that sealer that opens the pores, let it dry 3 hours, put on our first coat of stain. We tried it. You always have to do practice with some of the cut pieces. And we now know we need to put a second coat of the stain, and then you put another coat of the sealer on. So it's several steps to make it look right. In here, we've already shown you the backsplash.
Great progress in the kitchen.
And we're still working like crazy. Now all the base of the cabinets have been sprayed. They look beautiful. We have a mistake here. Here's another mistake.
Oh yeah, that was fun. So we got to go last night to try to find the new faucet.
This is the faucet.
Which of course they didn't have in stock.
This is great, but guess what? We can't open this one.
We can't open the left one.
It's gonna hit here.
So we just found a faucet that was what, at the most 9 inches?
Yes, we only had 9¼ inches
quarter.
to here, so that somebody could still, if they wanted to open this up, open the window and have the ventilation come through. So we're going to have to switch this out, change that.
Okay. And that's going to be here tomorrow.
Yes, that's the next thing to bring down here tomorrow. One other thing that I did that I kind of like is we stopped the original backsplash. If you kind of switch around sides here, the original backsplash.
Sure, let's go ahead and switch.
Was only this high. Remember, we knocked it out and it came out to here. But I decided to keep this backsplash only to the edge of the cabinet, and that avoids you having to cut out over your electrical, and gives us a little bit of surface that we can put a paint color. And they put these beautiful trim strips. Now they're using metal trim strips. I think the tile guys did an amazing job going all the way around the window like this. And when you're doing
I absolutely love that backsplash. I was laughing. We had our partner Peter on the phone earlier today. And I said, I think I counted myself saying, oh, I'm super excited. It looks so amazing, like 10 times on the last video.
It's turned out to be beautiful.
It has.
Then the other problem we showed you last time, that we had put in this new vanity.
Yeah.
And it's out again.
Oh yeah.
The reason being that we didn't know it. I have to have the fan noise, sorry. We didn't know it, but that vanity was only for the height of somebody in a wheelchair, and it ended up being too low. So we're going to now have to extend the plumbing up a little bit, and we're going to put 3 inches.
It was like 3 inches too low, roughly?
Yeah, so we got wood feet that'll go underneath the vanity, raise the vanity up. So it's a little bit of a challenge, and we had to take a step backwards, but we wanted to be right.
Oh, in the shower, a little quick update there. Looks like we got the flooring down in the shower.
They got the flooring down, which is great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Looks incredible. I was raving about it last week. How good that, well, and then we're going to eventually get
They'll install the plumbing hardware. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to keep going on our tour.
One of the other things that we did, I have a very good friend.
Try not to get our buddy Carlitos on film. I know how much he wants to be on film today.
Like, step into the room and let me show them the doors. I have a woman who is going to be doing the staging here for us. And we put this in also. We don't have peeled off all the protective layer yet, but we had to create a closet here. So I wanted to pick up our black accent, and we'll have a non-see-through glass here. So we finally got the doors in just today, basically. And now this lady who's going to be doing the staging for us taught interior design. Okay. She came through and she just loved everything. She said, I have one suggestion. Everything here is becoming so classy, so elegant, that your doors look too plain. And
so I love what you guys have done.
So here's what we decided to do. Here's one of the solutions, something you can do at your house. If you can't afford to go and buy all new doors and replace your doors, which is a big expense, we trimmed these out. You could have cut these pieces at a 45-degree angle, but we decided we wanted it to be that contemporary look. So you could either stack it on top like that or like that, but just created it.
Such a cool look,
as a cool look, just to give the doors that extra little touch of elegance.
Extra little touch.
So they haven't been painted yet. They've just been set in, and all these will look amazing once they get their full coat of paint.
Okay, very nice addition there. Love it.
Yes. Come in here. Excuse us for one
Yeah.
second. One of the things, we wanted to make this an accent wall, and originally I was going to paint the whole wall gray and have these just be a third dimension
Right.
on the wall. But I have sort of that look going with my entry wall. So we thought, well, why don't we make it really distinct? So I had them just put a little bit of the gray on here to see what it looks like.
Sure.
And look how pretty it is when you can see the whole design.
Well, look at the contrast. How cool
The
is that,
contrast
right?
is really, really wonderful. Yes. We've also been able to put the lights, all the camp lights, because the ceiling is finished and the lights are all recessed back
Oh, I
again.
love it. Yeah.
And
It's
so
good.
we have light again. I mean,
What a difference that lighting has made in here, right?
That probably, if you're looking for a way to cut corners, don't cut corners, save a little money. Wait until you can get your ceilings and your lighting done correctly.
Yeah.
Because if everything else is beautiful and you don't have any light, it doesn't
Hey, we
make
still
a
have
big
our nice toilet in the middle of the room. That's always
and
fun,
nobody's
right?
used it yet.
And
We
nobody's
put
used
paint
it,
on
thank
top
God.
of it. So nobody will sit down there. And we've kind of cleared out this closet, which we need to paint. This is all
Now,
done.
remind me, Mom, we're putting wallpaper on those doors, are we not?
We're putting on these sliding
on the
doors.
sliders.
And there's one of them right over there behind you. And look how plain these are.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paint here, if I can get to it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. This is a gold sheen paint.
Yeah.
These pieces of metal, just the edge, are going to be painted this gold sheen, and then this part of the door is going to be wallpapered.
Cool.
These are such big pieces of glass. If you've got 3 of them and you're trying to push them around, they're just too heavy, and it's a little bit of a dated look. So instead I'm going to wallpaper this, tie in that beautiful gold. It's coming back. If you like gold,
I
it's
love
really
the gold.
popular again.
I used to not like it, and now I love it.
Yeah. So in here, this is so funny. We've had so many things.
Speaking of gold.
Yeah, we've had to cover all this up because now the paint is starting. But we've had to pull all this old wallpaper off. You know,
Yeah,
that
it
has to
just
come off.
pulls right off. That was so ugly.
And look at this. This has been, I don't know if I can turn on the light, maybe without shocking myself.
Don't do it. Shock yourself.
This was paint.
Oh,
the old
that
paint.
turquoise paint.
And literally because
Just peeled it off the wall.
here's what happened. Somebody didn't do the steps. And this is what we've been talking about all along. If you have an older home and it has oil-based paint, you cannot put new water-based paint over an oil base because you just can peel it right off. So we were able to just literally just peel this. It's look on the floor here.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
It's
old
all
paint.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's an absolute, so now we can really get the walls to be beautiful, get them painted the right colors.
And then the fun update on the shower. It looks like they have finished, even though we've got a bunch of stuff stored here.
The floor.
They finished the floor.
Yes.
We can't really.
Can't really show it.
I'll get you a better shot of it later when it's
Here
all
it is.
cleared out. But you
Yeah.
can see the flooring
Yes.
that's been done, and then it
It's
matches.
inside the niche.
It matches that little niche there where you put your shampoos and all of that stuff, right?
And we have waited for these pieces, which are
Step back here
12,
without- Okay.
12 by 20 rectangular pieces. We didn't have enough.
We finally
Got
got them,
them
what,
this
today,
morning.
right?
This morning I
morning.
waited an hour and a half to get
Cousin
them.
Mark went with you down to MSI to pick that up. They
Yes.
finally got it in, and it was
Yes.
coming from where? San Francisco?
Yes,
or-
San Francisco. We were told 3 times. I went over 4 or 5 times. But finally, we'll be able to finish this wall. The painting is rolling. And then the floor comes in, the carpeting, and bingo.
Bingo.
We're done. I'm good. It's, the wallpaper guy is my last guy. But
So
that's
we are
where we are.
getting very, very close.
Yep.
So let's just do one more little, I'm still rolling, but
Okay.
let's do a little outro shot here in a minute, or...
Okay, let's come back over here where Mark is. Let's find Mark.
Okay.
One of those things that you have to drop back and putt, all right?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Mom. It cut you off in the beginning there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're okay.
We got a lot of stuff going on here right now. But here's one of those things as you're figuring out what to do, how to do it. We ended up at the beginning of this, we showed you how we put in these new doors. They're only so many feet tall, so we ended up having to take a piece of plywood, create another space up here to close it off above. So now we had stopped with the crown molding. Now the guys that have done the crown,
take the crown all the way around.
Now the crown's going to come all the way
Nice.
around. So it looks like it was meant to be here.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just an addition. Those are the things. It's a step back, but it's worth doing. They'll blend that. They'll put in a new piece of crown here. Which
I love the sliding doors, Mom.
Yes, and when they come off, they're going to be this wonderful. See how they have our black accent color.
Very cool.
I'm very pleased with it. It's going to be very nice. Because someone had taken out the doors and thrown them away because they used this, they pushed a desk into here, which is okay. But when you sell this to somebody, this is a second bedroom, you need a closet where you can hang clothes. So we're putting it back.
Well, we got rid of that other closet. So
right. And here are the other two doors that we turn around here that are the other two sliding doors that go into the master bedroom closet. You can see they're massive. And if you try to buy mirrors that are this big, they are so heavy, so expensive that I just thought I have to come up with some other ideas. So that's why these will be that beautiful new wallpaper. I think it's going to be fun. So anyway.
Okay, guys, so this has been a really fun update and episode for us. We have cousin Mark with us. Again, you know by now what to do. We've got all of our information down in the description below. My cell phone number should be there. If you want to go ahead and give us a call, you can shoot us a text. You can send us an email, or you can even set up that fun Zoom meeting, which gives you a half an hour of our time.
And if you want to talk to Mark, you have to call us to get his number.
Yeah, I mean, he's really popular, but I'm not going to just give his number out like that. You know?
Not yet.
He's on the VIP list, so you guys have to call us to get to him.
Correct.
But he's a cool dude, and we love this guy. We're so happy he's here with us. And yeah, the week's flown by, hasn't it? I mean, yeah.
One more day, it's just crazy.
One more day.
Another full day, and then he's got to go back to Iowa. But we wanted to get him on film this week while he was here, and what a blast we've had. So anyway, guys, give us a call. We would love to hear whatever your real estate needs may be. We are here for you. And we're kind of a one-stop shop, really.
Yes.
We can help you in a lot of different ways. So don't be afraid to reach out.
We can help you renovate, we can help you flip, we can help you refinance if that's what you need to do.
Yep.
And we also have an ability to get you the best real estate situation.
That's right. So whatever route you want to go, we have the options for you. So don't be afraid. We're not going to bite. Give us a call. And anyway, it's been fun. God bless you guys. And we'll catch you next week on our 7th episode. Which
I hope we're just about done and finishing the final touches.
Let's hope so. And Peter's going to hope that we're going to be done too.
We're trying, Peter.
We are trying, Peter. Smile, Peter. Okay. Anyway, God bless you guys.
Bye-bye.
And Reggie, have fun editing this one together. We'll talk later. Bye-bye.
Bye.